Good morning. We're alive. We are alive, and it is very sunny in my room. I'm facing the east. This is Poetic Science, and my name is Risa. 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 I have people call me Risa and Retta. it's Risa. But it's interesting to me when people call me, Riza. I had this one person, Riza. It's kind of interesting, Yeah, yeah. So, my brain gets bored. I need novelty in order to get dopamine. So doing the same things, doing the same things and doing rituals and routines, they're they don't supply dopamine for a brain like mine. It has to be novel. There has to be some excitement, some novelty, and for me to get dopamine, right? So we're on a constant chase of dopamine. At least seems to be the. I fell asleep in the bathtub, so my hair's it's all curly. But anyway, uh, yeah. So somebody calling me, Riza. It's kind of like, okay. It's kind of interesting, Riza. And it's not even Italian. All right. So I did some saging, and I'm really excited because what is going to come through? Because what came through yesterday really was very just. Excuse me. I don't know why. I'm wearing a hat. I got a hat on. I feel like a kid. I don't want to wear a hat. I don't like wearing hats. I cannot wait to get surgery in my eyes or whatever they do, so I can see right. Even sunglasses nowadays, it's like I feel like a kid. I don't want them. I don't want them. Take them off my face. Take them off my face. I want my face to be free. I want a free face. All right, you guys. I'm gonna do a prayer today. I'm not organized, but look at the cards that I picked out today. 7 of Cups and Ask for What You Want, and a Lion. Right? Those are the 2 that got my attention. I'm a psychic and I'm a medium. I guess I could tell you that. I have it all written down. I just got to get it together. And I'll do this like in a more organized way. And then throw some novelty in it. So we get some dopamine going on. So I am a psychic and a medium, and I didn't use the skills and abilities and gifts, whatever they're called, for a very, very, very long time. Very, very long time. And so I don't really know. It's all new to me. And this card is coming up. How do I say this? I still require. It's like, because we're psychic and we're mediums. I mean, this is new to us as a cultural, a collective, right? This is really new. This has happened in the last, I would say like 2015, this started really coming through, where the star seeds were coming out and sharing our gifts, and maybe, I'm sure before, but I think 2015 is when it really, because 2012 is when that big change, right? And it was a new era. So yeah, so I would say about 2015 things are. So this is all new, and people are understanding that, what we're not doing things in the dark anymore, because there are people watching. We're being notified by our spirit guides, ancestors, things that are happening to others, but we still require conversation. It's like I get information on, this is what's, you got this energetic, you got some energy, you got this energy, I feel the energy. I still require conversation. I'm very, very human, and I am a spirit, as you are, and I'm experiencing this human experience. You know, I am vast. I'm unlimited. I'm boundless. That is how I'm created. But because I chose to experience this earth life, I have this body and this brain, and I still experience a human life. And we all are this way, right? So no matter how psychic, no matter how mediumship, we still we still chose to experience this 3D. We can be in the 5, 6, 7, 8 um, dimensions, but we're still in the third dimension. I still wear underwear that needs to be clean. I was telling the ladies in my group, it's like, yeah, I go before before enlightenment awakening, do laundry. After enlightenment and awakening, do laundry. It's like no matter how psychic I am, I still have to have clean underwear. I still have to wash my dishes. It's like that was not something I was really cool with. Say, really? Even once I ascend, I still got to wash my dishes. Hi, I can't. Yes, we are. We're very multidimensional. Thank you. And your name is Siddhant. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Um, so yes, so I still require conversation. I still require. I don't know why I don't want to wear my glasses. I gotta clean them. Oh, Sid, I like that. Thank you. Thank you. Um, uh, I still require we still require conversation. In fact, that's part of, um, I'm going to use this word, I've been using it a lot, intimacy. And even people in my group, they have a hard time with that word, intimacy. God, creator, it's like with the more intimate relationship we have with our creator. Thank you. They're just with glasses and a hat. So in order to it's like conversation, it's like that is so beautiful, you know um and it's kind of funny. It's really funny because conversation is very I can't think of the word that wants to come out. It's kind of oh my goodness, conversation is because ultimately how we truly communicate with each other, or how we were created, we we communicated telepathically. We just knew what each other was thinking, right? Because we were all within the same mind, so we just knew what each other were the aspect that unique individual aspect that we were what we are, and then we're united. So when there was communication, this is I can't think of the word, but this I want to say barbaric. Compared to just knowing what each other's thinking and feeling, and we're just feeling each other. We're just, we're in this knowing, if excitement is happening, and we know it because we're feeling each other, right? We're sensing it. So in a sense, this conversation, the language that we speak with each other is I want, what is the word? It's kind of ancient, or it's but barbaric is the only word that's coming through. So I'm sensing someone that is frustrated, um, and I got to have conversation. There was just, it's like the expectation. I think, and I wonder the expectation with a psychic or a medium. So you just know. I wonder, because I called a friend of mine who is in my group, and she and another gentleman. they will say things in that group that exactly like something I said, like 10 minutes ago, 10 minutes before that, I said it. And they will say that, they will use that as an example. I'm like, I just did that. I just said that. Or they'll exactly what I need to hear. It's like, because they speak through, they allow spirit to come through them to give me a message, right? So when I called her, I said, hey, did Jesus stop by? And she's like, huh? It's like, well, he was told me to call you, and every time, and I explained, you always say the right things, so did he just stop by and let you know what's up, or do I need to brief you on this, and so it's there's this Fred Flintstone, right? He would, in his car, he would his feet, right? He would use his feet to get to move to get from point A to point B. And now we have these sophisticated engines, and they're electric, and then they're gas, and all that stuff, right? So that's it's like it's kind of like that. It's the words not coming in. So, but we're still in that. As psychic and mediums, we require conversation. It's like we can get images, and we can get, not, well, I don't get, yeah, we get images, we'll get visuals, we'll have these knowings, we can hear. There are times where I'm hearing people's thoughts, right? Like one time somebody got really mad at me, and I'm like, okay, it's like, all right. um, we can smell, taste. All of us, we all have these gifts, right? We're like Sid said, we're multi-dimensional. So there are times where stuff is coming through, but there's nothing like human contact, because that's what we chose to experience. We chose to experience this human life. And this is something that I really have embraced, um, and really enjoy. And I was like, yeah, this is exciting, because I didn't know how to use my gifts. So I kind of built like a bubble, what I call a time capsule. Um, but even with everything that we are, human contact, conversation, human touch, eye to eye, looking at someone eye to eye. We were doing a lot of Zooms, right? I showed up at some of the groups in person. I was like, whoa, you look different. Is that you? I recognize your voice. You know, there's a difference, right? So with this all being new, rely on we rely on this experience of intuition, and we also rely on the experience of communion, touching, speaking, seeing each other, and that's when things can be resolved. So yes, yes. No, but we can't procreate. This experience will not continue if we do not have human connection, right? And that is so beautiful to have these multidimensional, experiences. It's like when I get like energetics, and God's like, okay, this is, I want you to really look into this, have this experience, but I'm still human, It's like, but I'm still human, and uh, yeah. And I feel like what happened in being a way mastery and a Course of Miracles student. I was standing at the stove. I don't sit at the stove. I was standing at the stove, and I was cooking, and I heard very clearly that the Course of Miracles um, fosters separation. Now, when you read the Course of Miracles, it's all about how we're one, how we're united, and so that fostering. So I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So I started to look into what that meant, and that became kind of a like it became dogmatic, where in a sense where it's like I can't really, it's like I can't really hang out with you, because you you don't believe like I believe, or you're not doing what I'm doing. You're that is completely not. That's not it. It's about uniting no matter what. It's about seeing the unification and not seeing, understanding the differences, you know. But we're 99.9% the same. We got point 0.1 that's unique and individual. So within that, so that's like a huge portion of who we are. So we want to honor that point 0.1 as well, right? So that's what was happening in non-duality. It's like that point 0.1 was getting caught up and we weren't and it was like having these one-on-one and experiences. What's been on my mind, and I got to get to this prayer. What's been on my mind a lot is Tony Robbins, and he did a documentary called "I Am Not Your Guru," and there's a scene where he's talking to this young man, and this young man was suicidal. That was one of the most beautiful sights that I have had experienced, man to man, right? And I just remember just like, wow, just being so wowed about it. Being so wowed about it, because okay, so the guy's depressed, right? Tony Robbins picks up on that, and so he's like, so I think he even mentions, oh yeah, then he says, yeah, I'm even suicidal. Tony Robbins says, why? Because you picked out those red shoes. You're wearing those red shoes. And the guy starts laughing, you know. And then he, who has stressed his life out so much, confused, have life in him anymore, you know. And so he's contemplating death. So Tony Robbins really, if you watch that, if you've watched it or if you ever see it, but I'll see if I can find a clip of it. I didn't do anything for this channel, but it was the way he extended himself, the way, I mean, he was like touching him, and he was touching him within that man's soul, right? And that's where I get confused when it comes to any kind of belief system or spirituality that that just that doesn't do that in each other. Okay. So that I really feel like that's why this card has come through, because unless I'm having a conversation and things are being worked out, and okay, my connection's not very, some of the most, it blows me away, like these people that have psychic abilities, and I still have to explain things to them. I really believe the same thing. It's like, what? You don't know? No, we still require conversation, and until we ascend into and we leave our body, and however that works, conversation is what we're here to do. In fact, there's a whole channeling. It's called master. It's called the Jeshua in the early years, mastering communication. So communication is really speaking, touching, what we grew up with, is so important. And we can get caught up, and we get caught up because we get confused. And that's where the mistakes are beautiful, because then we get to learn something. So, and that's why I get really frustrated. It's like I get really frustrated because that's a lot of energy coming in, and most people, and if communicating to me, what's going on in my life, and that's, there's a lot that I am crossed. It's not gonna come in clearly. So it's gonna take you to have a conversation and explain everything to me, help me see, and then I have this brain. It's funny because there's, they call it the spectrum, right? It's about autism. Time capsule. That's what I call a time capsule. When I was a kid, I remember I had to like give up my gifts, um, in a sense, you know, and because it, and that created this dynamic that would be like on the spectrum of autism. And if we and what we understand about people on the spectrum of autism, and they call it Asperger's syndrome, we're highly, highly intelligent. You know, there's I get it now, like with patterns and consistencies, but there is a part of us that is Briggs, is Myers Briggs helps us understand that we have different way with our brain works. It's and the Myers Briggs gives us a nice picture of that, right? So there may be something that is so simple, and I have a really hard time. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. And so it's very important for me to be forthright and forward and even blunt, because I don't get it. It's so interesting. And then there's other like analogies and metaphors. I mean, I can go right into it. I totally get it, and it feeds me. But there are just some of the most simple things. Like I had this email the other day, and I'm like, were you saying this or were you saying that? Because that was a long time ago, and how do I give this other person this information? And I remember getting frustrated. Um, and then it just reminded me how important it is, to not assume somebody understands what we're saying. Even it's like, because we get really, it's like process. That is our point one difference, right? We process it differently. And what's the most important thing? That we connect, right? So if we're going to spend the time speaking, we might as well use that time to connect, because there's no reason to really speak other than to connect, right? At the spiritual level. And in order to connect, we have to be open to the way other people think, and the way they process. And then we got all this emotional stuff, and I don't know what that card is, but the confusion. Look, see, this guy's confused. It's just this. This is like that's a lot. That's a lot of information coming. So we're just gonna have to rely on good old fashioned communication. It's like today we have the microwave. We have the microwave. We have those air fryers. We have all these ways of cooking in a really quick manner, right? And back in the old days, and I love to watch different cultures doing this, but they built a fire. Yeah, see, that word is not. They built a fire, right? They got sticks. They have lighters and matches. They rub stones and sticks and start a fire if they wanted to eat, right? So in a sense, that we're still at that level of communication. There's this, and it's like, to be patient with each other, because right. So if having a conversation with me, if you are not looking into my eyes and you are not speaking to me, please, it's like, don't do assumptions. And I get really frustrated, very, very frustrated, because I'm here to have human, as much as I love the telepathic experience, and I'm and all the other gifts of being a medium and being a psychic and all that, like a human connection. We get oxytocin when we hug each other. I was getting some oxytocin when I was petting this little kitten the other day, right? That's a really important chemical for our brain. We are still a chemical cocktail, right? And when we look at the master, Buddha, the gurus, the Jesus, Saint Francis, they connected to people. They walked out, and they touched people. They touched people with their eyes. They touched people with their heart. He sits in this I forget what they call them, and he answers them based on their particular experience, their specific experience, right? I mean, we just have that. Just we have so many people that are doing that, and they're doing the face to face. And then after COVID, we realized how important face to face is. I walked into the grocery store the other day. I'm sitting there going in my pockets, pulling out my mask, and then I walk in and I see the guy no mask. I'm like, oh, we're not doing the mask, are we? Yeah, we do. And it was just like it was kind of like, wow, we don't have to wear masks right now. We're seeing each other smile. And but it was interesting because we were watching each other smile through our eyes, right? Because people were like, I go, how do you know I'm smiling? Your eyes are smiling. Okay, yeah, you're right. And I started noticing with others. Okay, so let's get on with that. Let's get on with this. So we're making how would you say, let's make a deal that we have a conversation. Okay, whatever's going on, whatever God, we're going to be in confusion until we have a conversation, right? And we ask for what we want, right? So because if we don't ask for what we want, how are we? Yes, yes. Because I got so caught. I mean, it was so beautiful. It was like growing up and thinking this is the word who we really were and who we really are, and then it's like we get that's exciting, but then ultimately it's like, oh, but I'm still in a body and I'm still got these chemicals going on, and I still need some oxytocin. I need some dopamine. So for me to get dopamine, I got to do something different. And I have to bring some creativity into my 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 mundane experiences. So okay, so let's do this prayer. Father, I awake today with miracles correcting my perceptions in all things. And you can say creator, you can say higher self, whatever you believe. Okay, I like to say Father. And so begins the day I share with you, as I will share eternity. I do not seek things of time, and so I will not look upon them. What I seek today transcends all laws of time, things perceived in time. I would forget all things except your love. I would abide in you and know no laws except your law of love. And I would find the peace which you created for your Son, forgetting all the foolish toys I made as I behold your glory and my own. Steady our feet, our Father. Let our doubts be quiet and our holy minds be still, and speak to us. We have no words to give to you. We would but listen to your word and make it ours. Lead our practicing as does a father lead a child along a way he does not understand, yet he follows him. So do we bring our practicing to you. If we stumble, we wander off, but you will not forget to call us back. Quicken our footsteps now that we may walk more certainly and quickly into you. And we accept the word you offer us to unify our practicing as we review the thoughts that you have given us. God is but love. It's like we give up time, right? And we choose eternity, right? That's that multi-dimensional part, right? On Earth, we are in a 3D. We're in this physicality, right? This is not who we are. This is what we manifested so we can do this life, right? It's like a spacesuit, right? We can't go into space if we don't have this to our infinite selves. So when we connect to the eternity, and that's when we experience more the knowings, that the telepathic communication, right? But we're practicing. So when we choose, so it's like by choosing eternity, we're still, like, no matter how much we're studying and we're doing these groups, what are they telling us to do? Go out there, love to your brother, because it's pretty crazy out there. So bring eternity into this experience, and that's what that is interesting. I'm going to that's interesting. You miss the emotion, but isn't it the emotions that has us connecting? Because connecting to each other, because we're here to, the way I'm experiencing, through the teaching, is that we got up here, we volunteered because of our compassion and our love for humanity, that we can show up here, have our experiences, and then through our trauma. Now, and I'm wondering, that's where the emotions, that's interesting, because recently I've come across uh, the idea of the difference between emotions and feelings. So emotions is the children. Gordy, I go by now. So because anytime, like, so yesterday I was really frustrated. So that was like that child. I forget about that. So that was like that child. So if I'm frustrated, and because the misunderstandings, right? Because this was going on, right? It's like I didn't understand it, and it was like I couldn't, it wasn't congruent. I have a hard time. It's not congruent. And cups represent emotions. So these are our children going by that, going by that idea of emotions. Because when we're confused and frustrated, it's because they're wound, is what I'm trying to say. So if you miss the emotions, then you're in a, going by this idea that emotions are our children that we're still raising, we still have to heal, and feelings are, I sense this beauty of the breeze, this connection, so difference. Okay, so being missing emotion, I want to say that's a very mature, and when it comes to maturity is about connection, right? Okay. Okay. We feel sound. Yeah, like music. Yes, yes, yeah. And yeah, so that's what we're going into the way of the heart, because that's what we want to do. We want to be we want to be in the fields, right? We want to we want to be in the fields, because that is our guidance system. Okay. So we are on um the very first lesson, The Way That Calls You Home. And this is the book again. There is a website, and one of them is Christ Mind Info. All these pictures of Jesus, and you will see the Jeshua letters, you will see the Way of Mastery, you will see the Course of Miracles, you will see the Course of the Course of the no the Way of the no Course of Love. I think if you go the early years, but if you go to Shanti Cristo, I want to say Cristo, Shanti Cristo, SHANTI, and then separate Cristo, CHRISTO, which is Christ in Spanish, right? Foundation. Um, you will get a website, and they will you go into like teaching, like groups and teacher facilitators, or and you can get all kinds of stuff. Um, if you ever want to do any more before you, if you want to like look at what you would be buying before you get the book or something like that, or just check it out. Do you want to use, if something intrigues you, you can go into, you want to look into it deeper, that's where you can find it. Okay, and I'm watching a couple YouTube videos, and I want to do like the shorts where I show you the different websites and show you the different books, and give you like under 60 seconds of information. So my nose is itchy. I haven't even started. Okay. So what I'm understanding, I was doing a reading for someone the other day, and my nose was itching. I mean, it's like I wanted to go like this. It was so crazy itching, and then I'm seeing like all of my other people. Yes, yes. I'm okay. All right. Yes, yes, and that's exciting. I love like like the 30-year-olds and the 20-year-olds, and you guys are you guys are third waivers if you know Dolores Cannon, her work, and she talks about the three waves of volunteers, and you guys are like this courageous, just you just know already. There's so much you guys know, and yeah, I follow a lot of young people on YouTube, and they just I love it. I love it. How exciting for you guys to come and experience um, this dimensional shift, you know, uh, and and have all this understanding. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I can't wait to start working with that individually and more, being more in connection with third waivers. So okay, so let's start. Let's start. So it's Dolores Cannon, and she wrote a book called The Three Waves of Volunteers. I don't know if you're familiar with her, or you can go to like Pamela Erlin. If you look at that really go into all these different uh, Dolores Cannon just did some amazing work with hypnosis and the brain waves. I mean, what she can do with like in the theta state, and the talk to you. She can they can talk to your higher self, and have come run outside, try to catch a cab without forgetting their cane after one of those sessions. That's how going into those states of mind. But it's Dolores Cannon. I'm not sure if I got a Dolores Cannon video on there, but you want to check that out, because uh, yeah, I love third waivers. You're amazing. Okay, now we begin. Okay, it's the way that calls you home. So I'm going to say it. I'm going to connect with Jesus, because that's what we've been planning to do, huh? Oh, Jesus. The way that calls you home. Now we begin. Beloved friends, I come forth to abide with you where you believe yourself to be. I come not for myself, but for you. I come not to teach you, but to love you until you choose from the depth within your own being to set aside every illusion alone is true. For indeed, in that hour, there is a transcendence of all that knows limitation. There is a transcendence of all that knows coming and going, birth and death. There is but the mind of Christ within which each of us as a perfect communion and communication always. The great secret this is this is the state with the whole of creation, since all things are but temporary modifications of the wondering of the Father. I'm going to read that again. The great secret is the state of your reality. The great secret. Okay. So it's interesting that he uses the word secret, because he wants me to sit here. It's interesting how he chose this word, because we weren't raised understanding this, right? We weren't taught, the younger generation now, you guys are, the information's there and you guys go right to it. That no one talked about that kind of stuff. Well, I would say there was the gurus and the what was going on in the 70s. My dad was reading. But it wasn't mainstream. It wasn't on TV. It was barely on TV. We did go see a movie called Beyond and Back. I must have been about 9, and that was about people who I'm in slow motion. I'm gonna have to check. I turned it off. I did the whole. I think somebody's screwing with my connection. So we just have to allow them to do what they need to do for themselves, to please themselves, and just continue on, right? Okay. And then I get to. It's novel to me to watch me go like a kid, right? Okay. So on to. So a secret. It's a secret. I never saw that before. I read this many times. The Great Secret. It was these ideas that who we truly are, they were purposely kept from us, right? Because if you take away the secret, you take away the truth, and you make it a secret, you confuse people, and you have them, all in like this, right? And you know control them more. You can control them, right? You keep secrets from people. um So and here's Jesus. The great secret is this: the state of your reality. In each and every moment, you abide in perfect communion with all of creation, since all things are but temporary modifications of the one fundamental energy that I have chosen to call the Christ mind, the offspring of the Father. So we've never were separate of creation, and everything is temporary, right? Since all things are but temporary modifications of the one fundamental energy that I have chosen to call the Christ mind. Okay, so I'm wondering, because the Christ mind is really the heart, right? It's not the brain; it's the heart. That's what I'm feeling. The Christ mind is, and that's the way of the heart. So we'll see how that goes. That's what I'm feeling, beloved. Beloved, and that's the key word that because he's saying Christ's mind. So it's like we generally go to the idea of the brain, right, the thinker, but really the Christ's mind is in the heart. So this is the way. Is this particular book? There's 3 books. There's the way of the heart, the way of the transformation, and the way of the knowing in this book, right? So we're at the way of the heart, the very, very beginning, right? And yesterday, and I'm going to do the teaching. This teaching here is how Jesus was taught, right? He was getting information from the Holy Spirit and through our cosmic friends, through other, ascended masters, right? And his spirit guides and angels. So he's giving it to us. This is his. So Matthew, Mark, and Thomas, they found Thomas, the book of Thomas, to Jesus' life, where their experience, how they were processing it, right? What their idea of what Jesus was, and who Jesus was to them, and what Jesus was teaching. This right here is Jesus's coming through the way he got like, and Sid was talking about touching on that, how we can speak through telepathy. So the gentleman in the book that describes his experience, John Mark Hammer, who now we call him JM, who was the Christ Mind Info, or .info, I forget. But you'll get his account, right? Of how he spoke to him, telepathic, but he also showed up in his living room as light. So he was like, let me show you some physical, let me let your physical eyes, like, you know, Sid was saying, that the light that hits our eyes, right? He's feeling that, right? Um, all right. Now, the idea of the it's like we're still that unification. We're still in communion. Did he use the word communion? Yep. Perfect communion with the whole of creation. Okay. So, beloved friends, I come to where you choose to be. Now, I'm going to go back up here because I kind of went through it really quick. So, the first thing he tells us, he says, now we begin. And I love, and what we're understanding is that when he says, now we begin, we get to start all over again, right? We get to clean that slate. For a moment, we're just in a clean slate, and it's a new thing, right? Beloved friends, I come forth to abide with you where you believe yourself to be. That's the first thing he says. Where we believe ourselves to be. I come not for myself, but for you. I come not to teach you, but to love you until you choose from the depth within your own being to set aside every illusion that you have ever given credence to, and to remember the truth, which alone is true. So that I'm feeding these illusions. So that means I desire that, right? He can't, and he says, I come not to teach you, but to love you until you choose to set aside every illusion you have ever given credence to, and to remember the truth, which alone is true. So there are times where I'm holding on to illusion. He can't really teach me, and where to do, because when we go into the Course of Miracles, he says, I'm your big brother. I'm your elder brother. And the only devotion that you're to give me is because I'm devoted to you, right? It's my devotion that devotion is returned, right? So he's coming in, and when you're ready to let go of those illusions, then we can really, really get into the truth. But until you're ready to let all the illusions go, right? So that is the same thing with each other, right? If someone's holding on to an illusion, all we can do is love them. We really can't teach them, and we're leaving the side codependency and rescuing, and that kind of stuff. And that was something that was really, ingrained in me, I mean, just crazy ingrained. So it took a lot to get that, to move up to the surface so I can to really see it. But all we can do is love each other if we're going to hold on to an illusion to do, because I just really wanted to really touch into we want to comb through this, because this is the secret. This is the secret that was captured from us. And that is, and so what happened was we got so we got so okay we got so it was so ingrained, it became habits. And that's what we're doing. It's like they became habits and addictions. So what do you want me to use? This one. He wanted me to use the dragons. They get so ingrained. So it's and that's the beautiful thing too with the younger generation. It's like there's just like starting off. Nope, I'm not going to spend my first 30 years believing that this is all there is. You know yeah. So, and we're even getting children that are being born now are going to go right to the truth earlier, right? And they're not. And there's I think it's in talks about children being born that are just not going to put up with the stuff that we were caught up in. They're just not. They're, and Jesus talks about, or Yeshua. Sometimes in the Course in Miracles, he introduces himself as Jeshua, and but we know in Aramaic his name was Yeshua. So anyway, so he had a, it's very similar to what's happening now, like with your age. I don't know how old you are, Sid, but it's very similar to what you guys are going. You're just not. No, I'm not. I'm not this physical being. That's not all I am. It's not about going to school, getting an education, working, and just doing physical things. No, it's about exploring dimensions and having cosmic experiences and intimate relationships with others, because we're connecting in many ways. Through was a young man experiencing that, but he was doing it pretty much by himself. But then he had some friends, and Mary Magdalena was very, very integral to his experience. Okay, just get a. All right. So I got the dragon cards. Let's see what drag. And you know why? These dragons. There's different dimensions. These dragons are in, and they're all connected to us. So there can be a fourth dimensional dragon, being of service to you. There can be a ninth dimensional dragon. So we're gonna see what dragons want to come out. Kuan Yin. So the first one is crystal yellow dragon and Kuan Yin pink dragon. Okay, dimensional. Okay, one more. Is that we good? I'm feeling 4. I'm stack again. I'm stack. Okay, I'm stuck. This is okay. All right. So let's get the little booklet in my glasses. It's the wrong one. The swan showed up in my life yesterday. Swan showed up in my life yesterday. What I was talking about yesterday was really coming through, and it's like I could see. Remember, I was like, I don't want to spend this much time. They're like, don't worry about the time, and I really needed that message. My nose is itchy. I really needed that because they were showing me what was going on, and then I got to see it, and then it's like, okay, but ultimately I had this experience where I was that ugly duckling that transformed into a swan. It was like so beautiful. I remember like, what, and then well, show me a picture, give me a visual, right? And then right to a swan. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so we got the crystal yellow because the camera had me like this, and you could see this part right here, and I was like, yeah, stop right there, huh? That's where they were like, you're beautiful. It's like, yeah, you're beautiful. See, we're leaving that, right? Because we were told that beauty was this, right? We were told that was beauty. We were showed that. Every now and again, we'd have we had the after school specials, and they'd always talk about, they would show something like, people like, don't judge people by don't judge a book by its cover, and they would have some kind of lesson. Oh, my nose is itchy. Okay, let me show you. Is that a good picture? Look at that dragon. Crystal yellow dragon opens you to higher learning and wisdom. Expand your crown chakra for illumination. Walk the higher spiritual. Okay. Crystal yellow dragons clear space around the crown and source itself to see us. Each of the 1,000 petals of our crown chakra can be extended to connect with a particular star, planet, or universal energy. However, in order for the petals to reach out, the light around them must be pure. So crystal yellow dragons work rather like fairies who blow away the lower frequencies around the plants so that they can grow. Carry fifth dimensional wisdom codes for the universe and can download them into those dimensional frequency. Then they cooperate with the unicorns to connect the petals into sources of universal spiritual path. And you know what that means? You know, came in is to start to let go of the illusions. Guidance too. Okay. So my experience when I let go of something, it hurts. It's uncomfortable because there's this what we call the ego that doesn't want that to happen, right? There's this resistance. We're addicted to it, and I'm getting all itchy and stuff here. We're addicted to it. You know, there's like, you know, there's attached, just not give, just make that decision. I'm not going to believe in this anymore. And there was a friend of mine who, when I first started non-duality, my pins, where are my pins? Oh, here's my pen. I have them all. You write this out so I can show you. Are you going to be able to see this in the same way that I'm seeing this? Okay. So B, right? Lie, and then VE. Believe. There's a lie in the middle of that. We are a state of being, right? There's a lie. B, lie. Okay. I remember you used to always do that. Every time you write the word, that's just your belief. That's a quick. Belief. There's a lie in belief. So we're moving into reliance and that knowing, right? And the last book is the way of knowing, right? So we're leaving belief because we all have different beliefs, right? So how can it, it's like, well, that's why it's so frustrating. We'll look at a subject, right? And that's like debate. We like with even like debating and stuff. We'll look at a subject and somebody will sit there and bring some idea of that subject and say, okay, that makes sense. And then somebody will come and completely contradict that idea. The two contradictory ideas, and they both make sense, right? It's interesting what they say about university, how that word came in, because it's something to do with the universe. I forget exactly, but yes. Oh yes. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. That yes, because it's like when we do things like this, and that's the idea, is we're speaking to the subconscious because the subconscious sees and that's why we're using cards, because the subconscious is it it's in images, and stories, and that's how we see beautiful. So but that okay, so the idea is receiving this card. Okay. Receiving this card suggests it's time for you to walk a higher spirit and knowing the true knowing. Yes, it is. It is. It's like because anything like I've been called weird many times. To YouTube started coming out, and I started all these other people that were saying the same things that I'm saying that were considered weird, right? So I started to understand that the idea of weird really is about closed mindedness, the difference between being open minded and closed minded. Like, this is the way, this is the So that's just a belief, right? And it's just too, and I like what you said. You said we choose to feel, exactly. We choose to feel that illusion. And it's so interesting because Jesus traveled when he was young to um, to the east, to India, and it's interesting because when you go to the way, to the Jeshua letters, the gentleman John Mark Hammer, who Jesus is speaking through, um, was there in Jesus' life. Where was he? Nazareth, and wherever, yeah, Jerusalem. No, he wasn't. Yes, where he was. But anyway, he was home, and he was in the scenes. Right, I remember the Sermon on the Mount, and he taught. Jesus tells this guy in the book, the Jeshua letters, and he says, "You when you were there, on the mount, and I was speaking, how you looked at it, what I was saying, what your focus was on how I had traveled to the east." So John Mark Hammer spent about 8 lives in Eastern philosophy and stuff, um, Eastern religions, all the yoga and all that, the meditation, because of that. Because Jesus has spent so much time there, or he spent I don't know about so much time, but he gained so much from going to India, and he hung out with a group. That's why what you're saying is what with the way of mastery is talking about, or the way of heart, and he's saying to us that I'm giving you the teachings, how what I had learned, what I was using, and he knew, he started to understand that we we choose. That's it. It's the idea of choice, choosing these illusions, and we get addicted to those illusions, right? And they become ingrained. So this first card for me is about opens you to higher learning and wisdom, expands your crown chakra for illumination, walks the higher spiritual path. So you can invite a dragon, the crystal yellow dragon, to work with your crown chakra. And I'm covering. They told me I had to. So I'm wearing a hat to keep my crown chakra safe. Because I'm in any kind of harm. So that's what I'm releasing. It's so ingrained. It's so ingrained in us. Um, Around your head, freeing the petals of your crown chakra from lower energies, allowing them to open and illuminating them. These dragons remind you that you are a being of the universe. And that's the university, right? That's what I have. The crystal yellow dragons will ensure you connect with those who are ready for the light you carry. When you meet people, time for this higher services now. And that's what we're doing this for. And that's why I was saying it's like, um, yes, I was thinking about that yesterday. I mean, I was feeling that. Okay, so you says to seek is to deny the truth that is right in front of you. Because I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like this idea of seeking. I'm like, no. It's right here. I just have to access it. It's there. It's just about accessing, right? Your eyes must see that which is the nearest. And the seeing of that is a movement without end. He who seeks projects that which he seeks. That this tangle. It's like caught, like an animal getting caught in a net. That's what I feel like. It's just like that. So what I'm doing with that, I'm starting at the beginning. It's like there's nothing outside of me, right? There's nothing outside of me. I'm choosing to see that, right? So I do my day, and then things get, discombobulated, and I start to to do this. It's like, wait. And then yet, I get like messages, you got to go connect with that person. It's like, you got to, this person is is coming, and there's going to be some kind of exchange, right? And then all of a sudden, here comes all this confusion. So, um, to do that, but ultimately, I'm choosing this. There's nothing outside of me. So it's like, okay. Is an illusion, always striving within the limits of its own shadow. Not to seek is to find, and the finding is not in the future. It is there where you do not look. The looking is. Meditation is the blessing of this action. I read this somewhere. I just copied and paste. Thank you. It's choice. That's why Jesus says, I'm here to love you. Because he's like, I'm not to teach you. Because at first I'm like, well, then I don't need to be teaching anybody, because you're not teaching. If I'm attached to illusions, and I don't want to, and all I want is those illusions, and I'm calling to you, and then that's when you love me, and Jesus says throughout the book, he uses the word seduce, and even says that the Holy Spirit seduces. So he uses, and I love this, he uses everything, all the words that we use, and he just, and the idea is that we are seduced. So when he's loving us, we're calling to him. He's joining us where we believe ourselves to be. He's joining us, and his lovingness is a sense of seduction, because what he seduces us with is this brotherly love, right? It's like the way my brain works has been noted as, and I started to my bicycle brake. He started to become my brakes, because I only had the bicycle. Heading off the cliffs, just like down the cliff, having to, get back up. But and he would prevent that, because he was loving me, and I allowed him to become my brakes. I started listening to him, right? So he wasn't really teaching. There was what was good for me, right? So I started to become. So I started to want and desire. Started to desire what was good for me over the addictions that I had, like, the smoking and the drinking, and some of the food, and that was a challenge, to not just like everybody's eating, cake. It's like I'm not, because of the preservatives and the sugars and stuff, right? So he was like loving me into sweeter ways of living, and I started to feel my stomach different. My energy started to be more productive, because I wasn't eating the sugars, and that kind of stuff. So he was loving me, and anytime I do not want, so that is really what he wants for us to understand. It's like, but he's there always to love us. And that can be sometimes, it doesn't feel very comfortable, because you don't want to support somebody's bad habits. So and then we go into, so people will come into our lives, and that's what I was saying, and I don't know who this person is who I'm even talking to. I don't know who you are. That kind of bothers me. That's an illusion, right? That's an illusion. There's a belief system to that. So I'm going to work on letting that go. But there's a reason you're being sent, and I honor that, and you understand that there's a lot of traffic in that, and so there will have to be, these views, unless they're in out there unless they're teaching, right? You know, it's like we can have all this beautiful experience of, you know, oneness, and but if we're not taking it out and to the others, um, the illusion of others, because we're all one in one mind. We're sparks. We're just point one. We're just a spark of otherness, right? Everything else is the same. Um, but if we don't go out and do, if they didn't go out and do that, you know, if Muji wouldn't have, if Muji didn't, so it's really, I'm really feeling to bring that multi-dimensional, that beautiful, I mean, you get multi-dimensional, you're speaking to cosmic beings that are masters, cosmic, you know, you get in alignment. And that's what, you know, these dragons, they're cosmic. They're this is a was a fifth dimensional dragon, right? And they're already on Earth, but you join the Earth population and you bring that beautiful experience that you had in this cosmic experience, and you bring it to this third dimension. You take the fifth dimension and you bring it to the third dimension. And you teach what you want to learn. And that's what Sid's doing. He's sharing that with me. Yeah. At some point, I think some religions are set up to control, but even in their controlling, God sneaks in, or truth sneaks in, right? But ultimately, the truth is here in our heart. So yes, yes. And even those, yeah, it's like, it's interesting. There are some, you know, because they took the story of Jesus and they just told lies. They just told lies. So Jesus, I'm going to come in when you autobiography of Jesus, by Tina Louise Spalding, and I think I have her on my playlist. She channels Jesus, and I was listening to that through the audio. If you have Prime, you can listen to that for free. I guess you get one video or something. But anyway, I got it for free, and I'm gonna finish listening to it. But it was where I stopped is when he was going back home. But was listening to some of his travels and stuff. So Sid, I got to finish my sentences. I want to jump into the next six sentences. So Kuan Yin's pink dragon brings firm love that resets your balance. See all your, and then let me show you, like, all that beautiful pink. So I had talked about Kuan Yin. I talked about Kuan Yin yesterday. What time is it? Let's see. I think Kuan Yin is a fifth dimensional. Okay. Archangel I say Gabriella. Gabriel. Sorry, I say Gabriella, but it's Archangel Gabriel, his dragon, and it brings purification. Self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond and that kind of, and that's what I'm doing. And let's see, Kuan Yin. I'm going to see if she's fifth. And I'm being guided to look at dimensions. She is also fifth dimension. Yes. So we're going to the fifth dimension. And rose pink dragon. Let me see. Oh, oh, rose pink is seventh dimension. And prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Opens your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. Okay. Hearts it. Right. And that's what I was talking. Beautiful one-on-one experience, one-to-one oneness, pure oneness, right? Through our meditations and our downtime, our alone time, and then we take it, we join, and we take it to people that are ready to let go of their illusions, right? And that willingness is so powerful. All we got to do is be willing. So, and I've just this, it got rough yesterday, which is par for the course, right? I'm doing this mastery. I'm in this mastery. Anything, we do it for mastery. If it's basketball mastery, when one being controls another, is working to control another, you know, it's like puppeteer. It's very creepy to me, that controlling thing. Um, and I really wanted to just like be very open. This is creepy, because I bypassing, spiritual bypassing. It's like it's creepy to me for one person to control another person. Because it became so, it was coded. It's like through, we can control people through like emotional manipulation, emotional blackmail. In fact, they showed me this the other day. It's a part of our suffering that is seeking attention for the suffering, seeking, like um, compassion, not even really compassion, but more like pity, I think, is really, so it's like, whoa, while I'm in this suffering, it's that we want compassion, we want guidance. There is the same, that's why it's so interesting. The victimizer is a very fascinating relationship, but it's this manipulation through pain, right? I mean, I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but um, it's controlling to me, and yet it was something that was happening on a constant, that was the regular, that just what, the way we grew up, that was the way we were raised, is for people to manipulate us, do the same thing. We were manipulating through our pain and our suffering. It's just like, whoa. And it became so creepy to me. I mean, it's been creepy, but I mean, I had to express that. It's to use all these things to control someone, when when there is there's this experience called liberation and freedom, right? And being in the moment, and being exactly what we want to do, like through desire, and that or controlling us, you know but we're choosing it. So yesterday, that really came through. It's just like, it's it's love liberates. So if there's any experience where the word, the idea is love, but there's attachment, control. Attachment is control. Think about it, it's like siege. I mean, just being, my hair's falling. Look at my hair's falling. um okay, you want to hang out. um it's not love. Love doesn't do this. Love does, so I'm understanding that. So it's like, anytime there's this element, I'm wondering, um, that if it's not love, and if it's not love, it becomes really easy to discern, right? So when we start to understand that love doesn't control, love doesn't, attach. Some of the love that I've seen and experienced is like, it, 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 it grasps, it tightens up, and then it pulls you down. You have a general? What do you? Oh, I wonder how are you, like? How old are you? You haven't felt love. That's interesting. That's fascinating. I hope you join in and share more, and as that uh, as that comes through. You're saying, okay. Let me just. I have never felt love emotion like loving someone and being loved. That's fascinating. And now you got me wondering. Well, yeah, I have felt loved. I have. But it wasn't when I thought I was having, when I was experiencing love. Um, yeah. So, Oh, you're 20. Okay. You want a general. Sure, let's try it. Let's try it. I'm feeling it. Okay, I'm gonna do the last two cards. My hair is falling out. Um, I haven't brushed. Okay. Let's do this. Again. Oh yeah, so that's what I was talking about, cosmic love, right? It's like, so where I'm learning, I'm discerning more and more of, like, if there's a sense, if I start to feel that creepiness, that's what I'm saying. It starts to get creepy, because it's so important that we discern. So when I start to feel like, oh, this is creepy to me, that's not love, that's control. Okay. How I want that discernment is easier, right? And part of it was that, and love respects and love honors. And anybody who knows me that knows I do not like to, I will do everything I can to not control and destroy the old, visualize your dream, help to manifest a new world. And then we have that's the alpha, right? So what you want, a general, is there a particular question you have? Dark blue galactic. And this one says, helps you listen to the voice of the universe, ignites codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom, and enter higher service. And that's what we were talking about, right? And it's masculine. This is like destroying the old, right? The illusion. Interesting. And look, you see this up here? If you look at an eclipse, you see pictures of eclipses, you can see that light, but you see the dark. It is about the eclipse, guys. This is about the eclipse. It's energy. And it's usually 3 days before and 3 days after. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, dark blue galactic dragon. So, okay, so let's kind of get a theme here. Let's get a theme here. Okay. So, the first card is the color orange and yellow, right? So that is our creative, right? This is our creative center and willpower colors, right? And this is about opening up. So it's about willingness, using our power, our willpower, to open up to a higher path, right? And then we get into this pink. And I think of pink of the heart. When I think of pink, I think of Mary Magdalene and the heart. Look at how pretty. She's so pretty. And this is about your karmic balance. This is a karmic balance, right? And which is karma is about balancing, right? So and I'm being guided to JRA, that they're telling you that this is something that you want to look into. You want to balance this, balance. Okay, so you want to see all your cords dissolve by transcendent love. Enjoy your freedom. Look for the divine love around you. So you want to go in, and anything that doesn't feel, I use the word creepy. So whatever comes up, like it's uncomfortable, maybe you'll feel a sense of restriction, whatever that is, you want to go in and you want to visualize. You want to take this pink dragon with you. Okay, they're there. She's there. She's in the fifth dimension, right? And she will help you. You invite her, and she will help you. I'm hearing martyr. There's some martyr. Okay. She will help you purify all that, because once you purify that, then you're going to get a love that you want. Okay, and we're going to pull some more cards. But that she's coming in and she's inviting you to invite her, to bring her into. And this is Kuan Yin's pink dragon. Let me give you a greater picture of that. And she will help you balance. It's not going to feel comfortable. Okay, but you have to be. So you want to let the have, because I'm getting this. There's a state we get in these confusions, and martyr is about, we think martyrism is about, we give our power. You're going to be going into a purification so you can experience a deeper love, right? Sid is having that experience of loving, being loved, of loving someone and receiving that love back. Is that something you're ready for, or are you? And this is about, see, this is a purification. See these pink. Oh my goodness! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! This is the feminine. This is a receptive. Okay, so we got Kuan Yin. Good. Okay. Okay. We're gonna. So then you wanna invite them. You want to invite them with you, right? And they will take you there. So we have this bodhisattva. It's negative, heavy, painful, suffering energies and belief systems, right? So it's about your belief. Render that, and that's what you're going to be going through as a purification. Okay, so you got to be open and willing. Okay, and they will guide you, but you got to be willing. You got to be open, right? And when you close that, just open up again, right? And you want to open up to them because they're going to guide you. And then we have the pink. No. Then this one came in, and this is about purification. Both there's that pink. There's pure white. What time is it? Not now. Okay. That pure white light, right? This is your purification. And then this one is preparing your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. Okay. Open your heart to warm-hearted love and diamond light. Connect with the love of the universe. Okay, so they want you to do that. Again, so eclipse. It's you want to use cosmic energies to eclipse whatever brings pain into your life, right? Because love is about freedom. Love is about playfulness, right? Love is about aggressive. And what happened was love became very controlling, and it intimidated or love is about freedom, right? And that's because if we start doing, we're not openly expressive, we're not expressing the way we want to express, and we're not to get resentful, and that's where love relationships fall prey to destruction and to pain. Oh, that's okay. I was just saying to okay, we're at one. So let's go back at some point to 1 hour and 40 minutes. And while I'm doing these cards, and because you'll get that, where I was saying how these cards are about preparing you for that love experience, to feel loved, and to feel love, right? That giving and receiving, right? It's talking about, and then here comes these dark blue dragons, right? Look at them. These are masculine. These are feminines, right? This is like the Christ. This is like the oneness, right? The Christ mind. And then here comes like the feminine, right? Which is the receiving, to receive that healing, right? And then here comes the masculine, right? So the receiving, the receiver comes in first, right? Which is the feminine part of us. And then there's the masculine part. Like when we want to do something, we set that intention. That is the feminine. The masculine is the physical, is the action, right? So then we take this action, and they will guide you And you want to use this like again, you want to use this eclipse to eclipse anything, any kind of, and sometimes we don't know what it is, but if you're willing, and they'll bring it up, and it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. It is not, but it's going to get comfortable later. Okay. Oh, okay, good. Okay. All right. So this is like action. I love twins. I remember I've had dragons come in. Come on. I don't like seeing. I've had I've had dragons come in, and there's stuff that there's heavy energy. They will clear it up. They will clear it up. It's not going to be comfortable. It is not going to, but they will clear it up. I'm glad the dragons came to. Oh, I want to see what dimension they are, and then we're going to look into um, what did I do with that book? I have this beautiful way of sitting in one place, not moving, and losing things. it's just, it's just a gift. Oh my goodness, where could it be? Where is my book? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, so we're talking Alpha Dragon. That's the ninth channel. Yeah, that's exciting. Both the dark blue galactic, ooh, both the dark blue galactic dragon and the alpha dragon are both ninth dimensional. Let's go back here and let's look. Dream. You want to visualize what you want, though. What kind of love do you want? And what is love? You know, what do you want? You want to, yeah, okay. Like for me, it's freedom. It's like love liberates, and it's like I'm in this experience where this is very new to me, but like love for me is this stability, right? Because my experience with Jesus, because he's been loving me for years now, is stability. There's this sense of stability, but that does it. And then that stability is that he will call me on. If I'm wrong, he's not tell me if I've hurt them, that they will let me know that. So that's part of like love for me, like honesty, because we can't really be stable for each other. In the way like okay, so let's say that like for instance, my mom passed and required or asked, and then bam, I get hit, triggered, and I'm emotional. Just I have to go sit. So the stability isn't that I'm going to be there always. The stability is that I'm going to be honest, and and we work through it, and we have the faith and the trust in each other that that we're doing the best for ourselves and for each other, and that yes, then we're going to have mistakes, and then all mistakes are brought to the in love with each other, right? So those are the ideas that I'm experiencing, as I had like a lot of these heartbreaks and stuff. What I really want. So my idea of a stability is part of this romantic, this beautiful love, but it doesn't mean nobody's going to be like Jesus, because Jesus could be for anybody. Then everybody's calling his name, and he's there. He's always there. But we're in this human form. We're in this experience, right? And we all have, these emotions and these feelings and things that we commit to. We got to do, chop wood, carry water. So that's what I'm finding for myself, is that stability, and then this freedom. So within that stability, this is the first time this has ever come up, this freedom of expression, right? So I'm not like controlling somebody from being creatively expressive, and then I'm not being some really really uncomfortable things like I don't like when you do that, or I noticed this about you. I know you don't want me to see that, but I did see that, which is freedom. Vulnerability is freedom. People, into have those experiences, I'm gotta do this, right? Open up, you know, and let the purification happen. They're setting it up, and the feminine, masculine is going to come in and destroy what no longer serves. Now, and the reason why destroy, I'm saying it like that, is because what happens is we get into these habits of beliefs, these lies, right? So we're our state of being, and we're being in this, our beingness is in a lot of belief systems, is feeling the beauty of love, right? So this is what this is about. These guys are about, to come and destroy that, because it's so ingrained. And that's why the word destroy. So it's, I love the word destroy, because I understand. These incredible galactic dragons carry Archangel Metatron's highest light. They help to create the universe that we live in and continue to breathe the yang of manifestation into our world, because they have the power of physical manifestation. They work with your thoughts. When we are collective mind of you, when we are no when we or wait they work with our thoughts when we okay or dragons, they only work for the highest good. As they can build, they can also destroy. They are entering our world now at the end of the old era and just the start of a new, to facilitate the destruction of that which no longer serves our planet, and the construction of a new world of a much higher frequency. Alpha dragons are bringing you a very special message. You are assist you, and know that their masculine energy will empower and strengthen you as you visualize what you want to build. You can also ask these dragons of the new golden age. They can take your picture and breathe life into them. This is a card of raw power and creation. So ensure your intentions are pure. If you do not have pure, and own, do, I don't, doesn't matter how sexy you are, doesn't matter what you got, you can't enter that. You can't go there. No matter what, no matter if you got 90 people backing you up, you can't go there. They won't allow. And I just gonna go. I sort of channel some gangsters. It's like I keep on doing that. It's like okay, Alpha Dragon. Oh, that was the Alpha Dragon. Yeah. So we're going to do the Dark Blue Galactic. Dark. Okay, he helps you. Okay, this is the one. Ignite the codes and the master blueprint as cosmic wisdom and enter higher services. These dragons shimmer with golden sparkles of cosmic wisdom, for they harness the light of the stars, planets, and constellations. When we are ready, they touch us with the able to attune to the ninth dimension. It is still an awesome light, filled with joy, love, and wisdom beyond our current comprehension. Dark blue galactic dragons can send bursts of cosmic searchlight through us to ignite the hidden codes of our master blueprint, the seventh dimensional light of our soul. So I thought it was ninth. So we can listen to the voice of the universe to incarnate on earth. Whoa! Your soul journey has taken you to the stars and beyond. The dark blue galactic dragons now invite you to communicate with the masters of the universe. Ascension of the planet. It's time to listen and serve. Ask the wondrous dragons who has come to you to tune you into the intergalactical council, where you can be, where you will be offered and honored. It is for the welfare of animals or of humanity, or to assist the ascension of the planet. Then the dragons, then during meditation or sleep, they will enable you to serve in a galactic capacity and will hugely expand your energy field. That is amazing. That is amazing. So, wow. And then look at this. Cocoons you, see, protects you through this, okay? Okay, so that's what all right. Oh, we're going to look at these. These are tarot, and they're, this is for JRA. Okay. These are tarot, and they are all the, this is Little Red Riding Hood. They call it Little Red Cap. And then there's Beauty and the Beast, right? So they took all these fairy tales. So we're asking, but what's next for JRA? I want to say JRA. Let me see that in my eyes. Okay, what's next? What's next? Now that our friend is preparing the heart, cocooning, allowing the old to be destroyed. So he or she could have. Oh, my candle is almost out. I'm really getting strong to I'm seeing the book. Let me go. Okay, so I'm going to read the whole thing. Now we begin. Beloved friend, JRA, I come forth to abide with you where you believe yourself to believe, but to love you until you choose from the depth within your own being to set aside every illusion you have ever given credence to, and to remember the truth, which alone is true. So that memory, to remember, that means it's already in you, right? The Hierophant, right? So this is Merlin. Look at Merlin. He's pointing. I like the way. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the idea in that is that you're already loved. You already are loved, and you already are lovable and loving. So when he says to remember that, until you remember, saying that it's already within you, so that no longer serves you, you're releasing that, because those are the illusions and those are your choices. So if you can choose those experiences, you can choose greater experiences. So he wants you to know your power, that all the experiences that you've had with love up to now, they have always been a choice, but you didn't know that because it was a secret. Remember, he says it's a secret is you didn't know that. And all the experiences that you had that you chose, if you can look at that as you chose it, and he says, take the responsibility, and in that responsibility, you will experience a greater power. And that greater power is for you experience. Right? So you're having like a full experience, that so you're looking at like your relationships, and you're like, wow, I chose that. I didn't realize I was choosing that, but now I'm willing to experience that. I am choosing that. Power is, and if I chose that, what can I choose now? Maybe you've seen a couple, and you saw something about their love relationship that inspired you, like maybe a sense of freedom. Maybe they both allow each other to they trust each other. They have faith in each other, not worried about what the other one's doing. They're not checking each other's phones, or that. Maybe you saw that, or maybe that's what you desire, and you go from your core chakra, right, your root, and you allow that desire to move all the way up into your crown, right? That desire, like I desire a trusting relationship. Like for me, it's like, so I would let that arise. Let's keep that in my head. So as you do that, you understand that by taking responsibility, that vision, and you allow the other stuff, you allow energy field. I think it's in here. I just saw it. I don't think it's in here. Doggone it. It's in another book. But it says something like energy. I got to learn this one. The feminine energy sets the intent and sets the frequency, right? Sets the heart, what the desire is. And then the masculine energy comes in and does the action. Okay. So that's what he's saying. So you want to hold that vision and allow anything that's not like with that vision. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold that vision of that stability. And now I understand that within that stability, there is freedom, right? Because I believe I want to have the experience where love's liberating, right? Okay. So, because that's my experience with Jesus. He liberated me through love, and it wasn't always sweet. It turns out to be sweet. So, okay. So we're at 2:08, so probably around 1:55, if you remember. Let's go like around, if you want to go back to that at some point to remember that direction. These ones are so hard for me too. I got to purely focus on these. Let's do this one more time. Ooh, Child of Wands and wishing upon a star. Look at that. Look at that freedom. That butterfly, that metamorphosis. I mean, the cosmic, he's talking about being in the cosmos. Look at the earth, the moon, just being free. And then this one, wishing upon a star. Hold that wish. Okay. All right, let's do this one more time. Give it to him. Put it in his hands. Give it to Jesus. Can I do the same? Let me focus. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, you have the Five of Swords. Okay, I have the Five of Swords. And then you got Aladdin here on the top. Okay, another wish, right? This is a different Five of Swords. Let's look at that card. So he's kind of on a rock. He's got animals there. Let me kind of. This is Five of Swords, but they're only showing one. And the starfish, wishing upon a star. So the cosmos, the stars is really big for you. So you got this star that's the ocean. It's in the ocean. And then you got this, we're looking at the cosmic stars. Okay, so there's one. And he doesn't look stuck. Okay, I'm being told I can go ahead and read it. I was like, they told me don't read it. I got to read this one. Let's look into this one, Five of Swords. I'm really curious. What? How do you go from... Oh, no wonder. What? That doesn't make sense. Guardian of Swords, the Winged Heart, Ace of Heart, Two of Heart. Where's the swords? I'm trying to slow down. There we go. Five of Swords. Okay. In the flock, then the fishing rod or sword is firmly secure in the sand. The boy leaves the raft behind. Okay. The boy leaves the raft behind and begins to explore a variety of uncovered truths that are awaiting him. He gazes at a starfish, which reveals the potential of his creative mind. In numerology, the number 5 is connected with freedom, adventure, and the unexpected changes on the life path. That's what's coming up for you. Freedom and adventure, okay? In numerology, okay, the seal, I don't want to point at you like that. The seals on the shore symbolize the emergence unseen, the emergence of unseen life forces coming to the boy. As fresh as he discovers new ideas. Most exciting is the realization that clarity is brilliantly emerging like the bright sun in the sky behind you. Freedom misused can be confusing and boundaries. The lesson of the raft, clarify your goal, anticipate illuminating insights from places deep within you. This is a creative and purposeful time. Most importantly, focus your attention and thoughts. So let me show you the Four Swords. When I see, okay, let's see. They're on a raft. They're moving. I have to look. That is not a cool picture. I really want you to see this Four Swords. I really want to, because they're showing wish cards, star, right? So there's an adventure, and you're being told to release the regret. You're giving all these. That's not it. So I really want to focus on the vision. Okay, you want to keep that vision for crystals. See it in color. Let me look at it first. So each of these guys has a sword. Two are standing up and two are laying down. One is laying down, one is sitting up. One is looking forward, right? And this is the Four Swords, and they said they refer to this. Okay, but it's moving. But then there's that dove, which is considered the Holy Spirit or your higher self. He's got the dove with him, and he's facing forward. And then your card was the, oh crap, did I lose it? Oh, no, here it is. Yeah, a really good place to be in. It's like a pause. Ooh, and there's a bird coming right at him, like, because remember they said that some things are going to start coming up for you, but hold to the vision, hold to the star. Okay. These cards are so big. Which is Archangel Michael. I love Archangel Michael and a mustache. And rose, what does rose symbolize for you? You are, yeah. Referring to, I'm saying, you're when we're doing tarot, we're in dimensions. There's no, that everything, yeah, and it's so cool because it's like our dreams. It's like they do like dream interpretation, and really, it's like you can have a person can dream of a tree, and it could be a whole different meaning depending on what that person's subconscious is with the tree, right? Okay, my nose is itchy. Okay, so there's a sense of truth. That sword is like truth, and then you got this other sword, right? It's planted. There's some sense of truth. You want to hold on to that, okay? Because I feel feeling you're going to be getting back on that raft, which is, I love the story of Huckleberry Finn. So they're telling. Okay, they're telling me to get another card. So they want to touch your child, your inner child, touch into your inner child. Because that's your creativity, right? You're innocent. I just love that starfish. I love that starfish. It's like they're going to become good friends. That's it. Look at that. They look like they're going to become good friends. I mean, in other words, wishes. You're going to become good friends with wishes, and these wishes are going to come to fruition. I'm mostly Sag. I'm very, 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 very strong Sag. my energy is very Sag. What about you? What are you? All right, let's do this. What? These are inner. It's interesting. And I bought them for my inner child. My nose is really itching. Oh, this isn't it. Ah! Look at that. Look at that. Right there on the edge. Look at that. You can do it. You got those birds. Look at the expression of that cougar. So in Native American, we call it medicine, right? Animal medicine. So cougar medicine. Cougar could be your totem. Cougar could be your spirit animal, or it could be your power animal. And if I remember correctly, power animal. I've been swan. I don't think that swan. I've never seen if swan is my totem. Um, but they will come to you and bring you the medicine. And the way I see it is my experience, the way I experience, which is seen, is that Mother Gaia, that Mother Earth will send. So she just sent you a cougar. So again, that you're to take right now. And so go watch some videos of cougars and just drink it in like you would drink some NyQuil, drink it in. And look at that power stance. Hold to your dreams. Hold to that your relationship for you. As we embrace, and you want to embrace anything, you want to give up those regrets to Jesus, and you want to embrace anything that that didn't feel good, right? Because it was our choice. So we embrace it. We embrace it. Okay, I had that experience. We embrace it. What I do is I like when I'm out in the sun. And if you have a backyard, this is pretty cool. But just you're setting the intention and you're visualizing and you're saying to all your cells to release, you know, just your organs, everything about your body, your physicality, open up and release all that has not served you, and thank it, and just be grateful, because what we know that it's our failures that fuel our successes, right? It teaches us. So that's, there's that blessing of it, and then plus we chose it. So, but let those, let it go. Let the dragons come in. Let them come in. You may start to feel like a tickling feeling, and then just stand in that, whatever that wish, whatever you want, because you said, what's coming in for me? What do you want? That's what they're saying. What do you want to come in for you as far as love, right? So take a piece of paper you want in love. In fact, I'm been working with that. I haven't really done it on paper, but I've been working with it, and I've been talking about it. Like, for me, love is stability. It's like congruency. Congruency to me is, doesn't have to always be like wonderful, but the honesty is the wonderfulness. For me, it's like not having to figure somebody out. Not it's like, but to have somebody evolve is coming up, but kind of we were trained before is that we would look at someone, and then we would have all these judgments, that we thought that were healthy, but they weren't, because we were not really seeing a person for who they were. We were just putting on we were like, oh, this person looks like this. Oh, this person reminds me of this person who was really successful. And so we start putting things onto people, and I saw this person as having these beautiful qualities, and what I was doing was pressuring that person, because they weren't ready to experience that of themselves yet. And I'm learning that I have to let people unfold, because my unfold is like, you show me who you are, rather than me sitting there. I'm going to be writing out, it's like unfold. It's like we're like a rose, right? Love is represented by a rose, right? And the rose starts off as a bud, and then it opens up petals, right? So then, in time, as the rose um, um, blooms, we start to see the inner, and then we see that Simon or something, or something. That's the sexual part. It's I think it's part of it's sexuality, that middle yellow part, right? That's when we get to the intimacy of it. So that's like what I'm, so I'm gonna put all this out. So, and then I'm gonna hold to it, right? And you're inspiring me. I love this. I love this. You're just building this relationship with wishes. You got Aladdin. Aladdin showed up to say hi to, Earth. And then you got this wishing well. He looked really. I think I shuffled. He was jazzed about that, right? He was really into it. So, but I'm just loving this, and I love the sea. We love the ocean, right? We love water. So that wolf, you are safe and protected. And look at that wolf. And there's also the little wolf, right? So there is a big wolf to you, right? And then there's this baby wolf. So you want to allow that baby wolf to come out. You'll protect. It's protected. You've got dragons. Let that baby wolf come through and help you, show you where you're where what kind of love you want to experience, right? And then we got I went and bought me a turtle the other day. I got a ceramic turtle. Oh, you're an Aquarius? You got a Aquarius and Saturn. So very familiar with Aquarius. Isn't that beautiful? Take your time. Right? It's your time. It's your wish. It's your love life. Right? It's your power. And surrender those illusions. Be willing to. Because it's the illusions that will trip up your star. But I wouldn't worry. Yeah, don't. I'm just surrender them. That's what this time is about. It's surrendering the old, and you are on an adventure. You must have had some resting time. You most likely had some resting time, and now you're moving to a different adventure. Because when we're healing, it's an adventure. Everything. This you made this amazing, and I JRA. I have to look at the initials. Thank you. You have really opened me up to what I'm just going to expand in all this. So everything that was said to you, you've inspired me. In fact, I think I'm gonna do a little reading after I have some dinner some breakfast, and go out and get some sun. I think I'm gonna do a reading. One thing, today's Friday. I'm just jumping ahead, but we're Wednesday, so the 30th, Friday the 30th is when that eclipse. I don't know what time, and but I really wanted to do some more about that eclipse, and I didn't do it last night. I got so caught up in that trigger. Look at it, came out again. I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even trying. I I have it. You are safe and protected. You can let that childlike part of you come out. You are safe and protected. Okay. And then there's that. Remember, there's that. Where'd it go? There's the adult wolf, and then there's the baby wolf. There's that protector wolf. So there's a part of you that you'll protect you, and then you've got legions of angels and masters and friends, right? Who walk beside you, and on a path that you have chosen. Legions of angels, beyond your comprehension, they are with you. They are with you. They are working with you. And that's what you're remembering, right? When Jesus said that until you remember that the truth that's alone true, right? It's in you. And it's an adventure. So focus on the adventure. Focus on the adventure. Focus on that. You know what you love. I'm going to take a leaf from your book of reading. All right, you guys. So good luck on good luck. It's strong right now. You might want to look into Jupiter. If you know your chart, go look at where your Jupiter's at. Yeah, go look at your Jupiter. I'm gonna go. I gotta go check the. I haven't checked the what's going on in the planets, but I do know Jupiter. Where is the card? Um, the Wish. Remember the Wish, the Wisher guy, the star. So let's look at Neptune. See, Neptune is the water, right? The star. So you got Jupiter, which is Jupiter loves to give us what we want. You know, Jupiter loves to give us what we want, and Neptune, that star. Okay, so we're in that connection. They're conjunct. They're joining. They're mingling energies. All right, you guys. I'm gonna do something. Let's get playful. Okay, I know what's up. All right. All right. Go ahead. Somewhere vast inside of you, capture your true nature and embrace it all. Survive until the giving has you drunk from receiving your very. I've always been loved, and you will always be loved. Blow butterfly kisses at bluebirds. Wave at trains and flocks of soaring geese. Ring in harmony with your welcome. Shine with the stars. Know you are in the company of your own glow. All right, guys. Good luck, Sid. As you work through what your power of creation. You know that you can have that experience of love. So I hope to see you guys again. I'm not sure exactly what time I'm doing this. I'm kind of playing with the time. I may go on a schedule to give you guys to give people a better understanding of what time and then I can keep to it. But right now, this is a whole experimental phase, and we're gonna and yeah, we're gonna get this down. Okay, all right.